Good morning. Good morning. And it is very nice to see such a nice, diverse crowd as we gather this morning to pay tribute to the men and women who have served our country with our annual Memorial Day ceremony here at the Fanwood Library. At this point, I would like to call up Rabbi Joel Abraham of Temple Shalom.
We take a moment to begin a moment of prayer and of reflection. In the Jewish tradition of the past week, we have read from the beginning of the book of Numbers. In the beginning of the book of Numbers, there is a census, accounting so that Moses and the Israelite people know who is ready as they will continue their march to the promised land. A count perhaps before war. But what we know as we stand here this morning is that the count that comes afterwards is even more important. The count of the toll that it has taken upon the people who have given so much for us. The people who have given their lives. The families who have given of their own members to support freedom, to support the country that we all love. So we take a moment now in our own way as we prepare ourselves to give honor and to remember those who have given so much so that we can be here this morning. Let us take a moment in silence to give thanks and prepare ourselves to remember. Amen.
I see that we have some of the Boy Scouts that are here today. I don't know if you would like to come forward and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
On our right and Reset. Halt.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, boys. I'd now like to call forward Eric Calvo, who is a student of the Scotch Plains Fanwood High School, who will play the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I want to welcome you once again to our annual ceremony here, and Up here on either side of the podium, we have some guests that actually serve you every day in our community. To my left, we have our friends in Scotch Plains that serve on the council. We have Llewellyn Jones, Bo Vastine, and Mickey Marcus that was kind enough to join us. Standing next to them, we have the 2014 Grand Marshal of our Scotch Plains Fanwood Memorial Day Committee, Mr. Malcolm Nettingham. And next to Mr. Nettingham, we have Alex DePace of the American Legion Post 209. We welcome our Assemblywoman Linda Stender, who is always nice enough to be here every year with us. To my right, you have your council that serves you here in Fanwood. You have Council President Russ Ugel, Kathy Mitchell, Tom Krantz, Freeholder Al Mirabella, and Councilman Kevin Boris. Please give them a nice welcome. And among the crowd today are many former councilmen, former mayors, legislators, and many, many veterans that I see. Look to your left and to your right. They are proudly wearing their uniforms, their hats. Please look to them and say thank you and say good morning to each and every one of you that is here. Today, we will pause and we will pay respects to the men and women who have served and those who gave their lives in the United States of America, in the armed forces, and throughout nation's history. And this year's Memorial Day weekend activities started last night when we had a concert on the lawn here where several hundred people gathered to listen to a wonderful patriotic concert by the Westfield Community Band that really brought tears to our eyes as we listened to soldiers' letters that were written home when they were on the battlefront, and those writers of those letters all were killed in the line of duty. Today's celebration just falls days before the 70th anniversary of D-Day, the invasion of Europe by Allied forces. And this year's remembrance is especially dedicated to the troops who gave their lives or were injured in those battles. And it is appropriate to remember and honor the 6,000 plus American D-Day casualties, including almost 3,000 killed just days before June 6th, which again is the 70th anniversary of the invasion. I would like to call forward Councilman Russ Ugel, who will read our resolution today.
Good morning. Thank you, Mayor. Borough of Fanwood Resolution, Memorial Day 2014. Whereas the last Monday in May is set aside to mourn our servicemen and women who answered the call of duty and made the ultimate sacrifice to maintain our freedom, and whereas we gratefully honor the selfless service and we acknowledge the debt of honor beyond our capability to repay, and whereas it's important for us as a community, state, and country to show our gratitude for the service of our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Coast Guardsmen, and Merchant Marines who died in the service of our nation so we may continue to enjoy the liberties we so deeply cherish. Whereas the following Fanwood servicemen, these fallen heroes killed in action, are remembered here today. World War I, Ernest Ashworth Jr. World War II, Walter Stewart, Richard Gere, William Brome, John McDermott, Hugh McLennan, Edward Staggart, Theodore Ginder, Donald Vinton. Korea, Charles Burns III. Vietnam, Eugene Hendricks, Edward Klinicki. And whereas, let us pause for a moment to remember and honor those brave men and women who were lost to us, and to remember our men and women who are fighting for our freedom today. We'll now have a moment of remembrance. Now therefore be it resolved, the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Fanwood do hereby publicly honor the veterans who made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation and who courageously protected this country, to remember them on this Memorial Day, May 26, 2014, to recognize these peacemakers and peacekeepers, that their sacrifice were not made in vain, and to bring Americans together in a spirit of respect, patriotism, and gratitude nationally as we are doing here together today.
I now would like to call forward Al Mirabella, who would like to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Mayor. It's an honor to be here to share a few words with all of you on this Memorial Day. It's nice to see a nice crowd here in Fanwood, the patriotism and the love of our country that we all share. It's also nice to see so many young children in the audience and here participating with their families. You know, so often these days, people throw the word hero around very casually for sports men and women or rock stars or whatever. But the real heroes are those among you here who served, the veterans that served our country. And particularly the men and women who went before us who are no longer here to celebrate, but have left a lasting impression on our country where we enjoy the freedoms that we do. I'm also very honored to be here among the men and women who keep our borough safe, and that's the police officers, the fire department, the first aid squad, and it's always nice to see them assembled here, paying their respects to our veterans. So I want to wish you all a terrific day. Understand, please, that Memorial Day, although celebrated once a year, should be celebrated every day. And I would expect, and I do myself throughout the year, is take time to understand the sacrifice that was made for us, for our freedom, so that we can enjoy the United States as we do. Have a nice day, everybody. Thank you, Mayor.
Assemblywoman Linda Snyder.
Thank you, Mayor, and good morning to all. I am pleased once again to stand here with you as I've done over the years, because it is a time of reflection and a time of focus on the freedoms that we benefit from. Just the fact that we are able to gather as we do this morning to honor those who have given their lives, who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. I said last night at the concert, and I'm going to share again, that I recently was out of the country. I was in Hungary. Those people suffered terribly as a community for generations. Fascism, Nazism, communism. They have a museum there called the Terror House where you can go and see what happens when you have no freedom, when you have oppression. So it was very personally compelling to me as a reminder to come home and know that as we walk around, that we get to make those choices of our freedoms every day, our choice to gather here today. And I'm so proud of the fact that we gather every year to remember the ultimate sacrifice of the men and women who make it possible for us to celebrate our choices and our freedoms in every way, small and large, as we go through our lives. So I look forward to celebrating those freedoms with you today during the parade and to honoring the memory of the soldiers who paid with their lives for that freedom. Have a great day.
I'd like to call back Eric Calvo, please, who will be singing God Bless America. Very fitting after listening to Assemblywoman Linda Stender's remarks.
Look at our rifle squad, man. Huh.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
We now will have the laying of the wreaths. The first, I'd like to call forward the American Legion Community Post 209.
Holiday Rifle Squad, and
I'd like to call forward the Veterans of Foreign War Post 10122. From the Rescue Squad President Patricia Puckriddy and the Captain Steve Sigal. Representing the Fanwood Fire Department, the Fire Chief John Picola, and the Fire Company President Rick Regenthal. And representing the Fanwood Police Department, Officers Stomber and Bernard. The rifle salute by the American Legion Community Post 209.
Holiday Rifle Squad, Fort Halt! Ready, aim, fire! Aim, fire! Aim, fire! Ready, front! Reset, halt!
Bless those at war. Bless those who must fight with courage, bravery, and strength to do what they must do today. May judgment, fairness, and compassion guide them. Bless those who must fight with loyalty to their country, teammates, officers, and their humanity, keeping strong to their convictions, spirit, and faith. Bless those who must fight with safety. Bring them out of harm's way as much as possible. Sharpen their powers of perception to see danger. Bless those who must fight with enough time to refresh their body and spirit for the next battle. Time to relax a bit and laugh with their buddies. Bless those who must fight with peace of mind, to accept the difficulty of their task with a willing spirit, a knowing that what they do is appreciated and valued. And bless those who must fight with victory. If injury happens, make it as minimal as it has to be. Bring each warrior home as soon and safely as possible with our deepest gratitude and respect. And in keeping with those words of gratitude and respect, I would like to call forward for a special presentation that we are going to be doing on this Memorial Day to honor our Grand Marshal, Malcolm Nettingham. If Mr. Nettingham would like to come forward, along with the students of the Scotch Plains Fanwood High School Black Student Union. Mr. Malcolm Nettingham lives in Scotch Plains, and he is 95 years young. And he is a member of the famed Tuskegee Airmen. And he is this year's Grand Marshal. Mr. Nettingham? Mr. Nettingham was among 300 members of the All-Black unit to receive the Congressional Gold Medal. So we felt it was fitting today to recognize him publicly, and we also thought it was fitting to bring forward these wonderful young students from our high school. I'd like to call forward Raquel Lewis, who is the Black Student Union Vice President.
Good morning. On the behalf of the Black Student Union, we would like to say thank you to Mayor Barr for this wonderful opportunity to be here today. I would just like to say a few words about the Tuskegee Airmen and Mr. Nettingham. The Tuskegee Airmen were dedicated. They were the first African-American United States military pilots. These airmen were determined young men who enlisted at a point in time where many thought African-American men lacked intelligence, skill, courage, and patriotism. Many of these men were trained at Tuskegee Army Airfield in Tuskegee, Alabama, hence the name Tuskegee Airmen. The Tuskegee Airmen went on to further break the color barrier. They disproved the assumptions that African Americans were unsuited to rigors of serving in a highly technical combat arm. However, despite proving themselves, they were still segregated. Proving that they were suited for the job, this experiment caught the eye of many leaders. It was President Harry S. Truman who knew that segregation by race was morally wrong and inefficient and needed to come to an end. Mr. Malcolm Nettingham was one of the brave men that enlisted and became part of the Tuskegee Airmen. Reading on my own about Mr. Nettingham, I found that he, along with the other airmen, were very courageous and determined. Listening to his personal stories when he visited a meeting for Black Student Union, I was very inspired. Hearing specific, detailed stories, he gave me a better understanding of the real experience. It is a great honor to be here today to help present this award to Mr. Nettingham. Because of him, I know that with determination and the right attitude, I can push forward through obstacles and excel. I would like to now introduce Kenyela Horn, who will read an original poem written by BSU member Marjorie Cologne. Good morning. This is titled My Colors. Flying up high in the sky, I spread my wings. You can't see my color, I'm too high up. Will you still judge me, break me, criticize me when I come down? What's the matter with you folk? I'm the same as all of you. It took me years to get noticed, but I still prevailed. Underestimation, discrimination all in my blood. It's a bittersweet journey. With the glares of others,
all because I'm a different color. I'm black. There's nothing I can change about that. I can't be yellow or blue. I'm black all the way, and that's the way I'll stay. 477th Composite, 617th Squadron. Those numbers are my pride. No, I will not hide from who I am inside. Who are you to judge me while I'm up high saving your lives? Thank you. Now for a presentation by Tasia Williams. Good morning, everyone. I'm here to just present this award to Mr. Malcolm Nettingham. In honor of all your achievements as a Tuskegee Airman, we'd like to present this award to you from the Black Student Union.
I'm going to read it. It says, the Scotch Plains Fanwood High School Black Student Union honors Malcolm Nettingham, Tuskegee Airman. We thank you for your dedication and service to our country and community. You're an inspiration to all of the youth of Scotch Plains and Fanwood. We salute you today. And with that, I've asked Mr. Nettingham to say a few words.
Good morning, everybody. I've heard the number of Tuskegee Airmen mentioned as 300. Actually, there were thousands of us. There were 300 present at the presentation of the Congressional Gold Medal in Washington. Unfortunately, I was not able to be there, but I was presented it by the late Senator Lautenberg. 5 of us in New Jersey received it at that time. Mayor Glover, Mayor Marr, the Memorial Day Committee, American War veterans, all who are assembled here today. It's truly a great pleasure and a distinct honor to be chosen as Grand Marshal of the Scotch Plains Fanwood Memorial Day. But just let me break here and thank these young people, these amazing young people. I'm really impressed by what I've heard that they have done in the community, and I really applaud them, and I'm sure they are inspiration to other young people. I would like to thank Mayor Marr, Mayor Glover, and the Parade Committee for bestowing such an honor on me. And it is a great honor. And again, I do thank you. But it's not about me. It's about reflecting on and honoring the brave men and women who made the supreme sacrifice in defense of this nation. They truly are to be honored. So we honor them today, and we also give thanks to our veterans and the women and men who stand at the ready today. Thank you very much.
I'd now like to call forward to close out our ceremony Rabbi Joel Abraham of Temple Shalom.
We've taken this morning to count, to know more than the numbers of those who have given their all for us. but to remember their names. And for us, the job is to go more than recognizing the names or the streets named after them, but to know the people, to know the lives, the hopes and dreams of those who put all those things aside so that they could stand for us. What is our legacy? What is their request of us? Not just to remember them, not just to count them, but to stand up and to be counted ourselves. To remember their service, to remember their sacrifice by acting for the ideals that they chose for us to observe. Take a moment now in prayer to ask for peace, knowing that peace is not the absence of war, but peace is equality of opportunity. Peace is justice for everyone. May the source of peace, who brings peace to the high heavens, bring us peace here on earth. And let us say, Amen.
That concludes our annual service. Again, I thank you very much for taking the time this morning to start your day here. After today's ceremony, we will be heading up to the Scotch Plains Gazebo, where they will be doing their ceremony, and the parade is scheduled to begin at 10:30. We hope to see you along the route, and have a nice day. Thank you all for coming.